Hello, everybody out there. It is Coach Jeff coming to you with episode 2, where I'm going to cover all things goal setting. And you may think, hey, setting goals is super easy. But what I can tell you is from my experience as a coach and working with many different people is that most people don't know how to set goals. And if they do set goals, they don't set them properly. So what I mean by that is I'm going to be covering both the long and the short-term goals. I'm going to talk to you about what being properly motivated means, like you got to have authentic motivation. I'm also going to give you guys tactics on staying motivated year-round. Going to give you guys some tips on avoiding common pitfalls when it comes to not only setting the goals, but following through with the goals, and then also how to manage things that come along with pursuing your goals, like stress and anxiety. Alright guys, so before we actually start talking about your goals and how to set them properly, you must first understand what being authentically motivated means. So let me give you an example of non-authentic motivation. So think of December 31st, you know that the new year's right around the corner, so you quickly say, hey man, I want to be fit and I want to be healthy. So what do you do on January 1st? You go out, you get a gym membership, and maybe you go for, a couple weeks, maybe even a month or so, but then you fall off because the motivation was not authentic. And authentic motivation should be a goal that motivates you so much that you leap out of bed every morning to start working on the task that day that are going to ultimately get you to your goal. The second thing that you need to understand in any pursuit of a goal, whether health, fitness, career, personal, or relationship-wise, there's always going to be obstacles that are going to be in the way. When it comes to achieving your goals, contrary to what many believe, it's never a straight line. There's going to be ups and downs. You're going to get turned around. You're going to get flipped upside down. But here's the thing that most people don't realize is your greatest obstacle is going to be yourself. All right, so let's talk about goals. Now, first off, when setting a goal, the goal needs to be challenging enough to motivate you to take action. But on the flip side of that coin, it needs to be realistic so you do not become discouraged. Now, your goals are going to shape your day-to-day priorities, and it's those day-to-day priorities, when followed consistently, will get you to the goal. Now, hey, what is a goal? It's any desired outcome that you're looking to achieve. Now, whenever you're setting your goals, you need to be as specific as you can so you can measure when you've achieved your goals, right? Just imagine a football game where the football players are pumped up and they're ready to go defeat the other team, and they let these players loose on the field and there's no goal. There's no end zones. So how do you keep score? How do you know who's won? How do you know when you get there? And setting the goals are the same, guys. And what I got to tell you here is the goal is actually the process, and the process is the goal. So once you realize that it's what you do every single day consistently that will get you to your actual end outcome goal, then there's nothing in life that you can't achieve. And then, hey guys, what you have to realize is that you can't set new goals and maintain old priorities. This is what we call the reality of achievement. It just means that whenever you're seeking something new, a new level of personal growth or achieving a goal, there's almost always going to be sacrifices involved. All right, so now let's dig a little bit deeper into the goals themselves. And specifically, I want to talk about process goals versus outcome goals. So an outcome goal is what it's all about. It's your ultimate achievement. It's your ultimate victory, okay? That could be a 30-pound weight loss. That could be achieving a certain financial status. That could be getting the next promotion at work. Whatever it is, that is the ultimate thing that you're shooting for. But then you have process goals. And now process goals is what you really need to hone in on and focus. Why? Because the outcome goal you can't always control. And most of the time you actually don't have any control over that. Meaning, let's say it is a 30-pound weight loss goal that you're going for. Nobody can actually predict how much weight you're going to lose at what speed or how much muscle you're going to build. So trying to focus on that the whole time will eventually demotivate you and probably derail you from actually continuing. Conversely, you have 100% control over the process, which means your day-to-day activities, your priorities, meaning you have complete control over what food you eat, over what you drink, over how much sleep you get, over if you choose to manage your stress or not. All those things you have 100% control over. So that's what I mean when I say that the goal is the process and the process is the goal. And whenever you're going for your process goals, you got to go at those with a good attitude, right? So if you don't like dieting and exercising, you got to find something about those that you do enjoy, right? So maybe you don't like the strenuous feeling of training, but you love the invigorated feel that you get after training. So that's something that you kind of own, and so now it's part of your day-to-day priorities and that you actually enjoy it. Same thing with eating healthy or dieting. There's plenty of recipes out there where healthy food can actually taste really, really good for you. So let me put this in perspective for you, right? Let's look at, let's say, an NFL team. And why not the Patriots, right? They've won just a butt ton of Super Bowls. So let's use them as an example. So let's say that they're like the typical person, right? Who just focuses on the outcome goal. So 30-pound weight loss. That could be 3, 5, 6, 9, 12 months off. That is too far for your motivation to stretch. So, hey, man, it's week 1. It's the first game of the season. And the Patriots, as soon as they hike that first play, they're thinking about the Super Bowl. They would get demotivated extremely quick, and they probably wouldn't win any games because their mind wasn't on the process, right? So actually what they do is they practice, and they're meeting with different coaches different days of the week, and they're running plays, and they're looking at films for the team that they're about to play different days of the week. So they prepare for each game until they reach the Super Bowl. And achieving your goals are the exact same way. So you got to start looking at your goals with kind of bifocals, right? You also have to keep your eyes on the long-term goal, but you're mainly focusing on the process or the short-term goals. All right, so now that we have our goals set, now we need some serious fuel to make sure that we can plug day in, day out to achieve our goals. And that fuel is called motivation. And now to keep motivation alive for a long period of time is by focusing on the process goals themselves. But what I have found what works the best is using self-affirmation or process statements. Like, for example, you can start your day out like you already know the things that you have to do, right? So let's say it's to prepare your meals before the day, and to get in a training session of 30 to 45 minutes after work. So instead of just lackadaisically going through your day, to keep yourself motivated, you look in the mirror and say, I got this today. Hey, I'm all over this. Or hey, I'm going to take whatever time is needed to get my priorities done today because I want to achieve my goal. So by looking into the mirror and reinforcing those statements, you're going to honestly start to believe those. That's going to start to invigorate you even more. And then the odds of you slacking off or saying, I just don't feel like doing that today are going to start to be a thing of the past. All right, so now we got to talk about stress. Living in North America, we're stressed from the minute that we get up to the minute that we go to sleep. And maybe sometimes you're dreaming about work, so you're even stressing when you're sleeping. But stress will cripple and just completely smother motivation. So you got to have a good cognitive approach to dealing with stress. And I'm going to give you guys a couple solid tips today to doing that. All right, so what you have to realize is that there's always going to be unpredictable and predictable stressors in your life. But if you're not prepared and you don't know how to deal with stress is just going to sap out mental energy out of you. That's going to eventually lead you to self-sabotaging yourself in the long run. So the first tip I want to give you guys on healthy stress management is taking care of yourself in a healthy way. So what I mean by that is focusing on making your nutrition one of mainly whole foods with minimally processed foods. So think about trying to get away from foods that are in packages or in cans, on shelves and things like that, and going more for your fruits, your vegetables, your whole grains, and lean meats. And also, you want to try to really strive to get better sleep. This is probably the most underutilized tool in stress management that I know of, because people just tend to think that they can get away with low levels of sleep for a long period of time. But sleep deprivation causes a cascade of effects from the mental side to the hormonal balance to your biochemistry, etc., etc. So just start by trying to get a little bit more. If you're getting under 7, try to get an extra 30 minutes of sleep next week, and then build up from there. Also, focus on drinking plenty of water. Water, once again, is another underutilized tool, and just keeping your body hydrated. Considering your body is mainly water, it's a good idea to stay supplied on the stuff. And then lastly, training your body 3 times a week with a minimum of 30 minutes. And that can mean just going for walks after dinner if you're not doing anything right now. But mind, body, and soul are all connected. And then the second de-stressing technique I want to give you guys is learning to achieve balance. Now, here at Training for Warriors, we call it the 5 F's, right? So you have your family, you have your fitness, you have your faith, you have your finances, and you have your fun. Your life is a plate, and you can only pile so much on that plate before things start to fall off. And so if you're having trouble with finding balance in your life, you need to get out a piece of paper, kind of write down where you feel out of those 5 F's, where you're spending most of your time, energy, and money, and see how it's impacting the other areas of your life, and start to make small adjustments to balancing out, and ultimately will lead to less stress, better health, and achieving goals. All right, and so lastly, I wanted to end with the different types of motivation. So you're going to have external motivation and internal motivation. And both are an integral part to achieving goals, but mainly you need that internal motivation first. Meaning going back to setting that goal that authentically motivates you to want to get out of bed every single day. That's the most important thing to do. And then by focusing on your process goals, using the process statements, you're going to keep yourself motivated. Now, it's also good to find some external motivation, right? So maybe you join a fitness program. Maybe you hire a coach. Maybe you love somebody and you love their YouTube channel, so you watch them for daily inspiration. Maybe you read a book. Maybe you watch a certain TV show. Certain movies can motivate you, but you need to use both. You can't just rely on other people and other sources to keep you motivated. It first needs to come from within, and then use also external motivation to just give you that much punch and that much push to achieving your goals. All right, everybody, so that's going to end my second episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys got some takeaway actions that you can start implementing right away to help you set those goals, to stay motivated, to follow through on those goals, and how to avoid some serious pitfalls in setting the goals and achieving the goals. Now, please follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel as I will continue to pump out episode after episode, trying to go by a bi-weekly schedule at the latest. Also follow me on Facebook, Jeff Hand. You can also follow my company's Facebook page, TFW Stockyards. And also feel free to visit our website, www.tfwstockyards.com. And if you have any questions or comments over what I talked about today, or you need a little additional help in setting goals, feel free to shoot me an email. That'll be coachjeff@tfwstockyards.com. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and stay tuned for my next episode.